Hey, welcome back to Girlfriends of Football, your go-to place for NFL talk during the busiest, messiest, most dramatic time of the season. I'm Coach Desi here with Beth and Laura, and if Week 16 taught us anything, it's that December football does not care about your plans, your sleep schedule, or your holiday stress level. We got statement wins, frustrating losses, sideline drama, and a playoff race that somehow feels tighter with only a couple weeks left. Some teams look locked in, some look exhausted, and some look like they might need the offseason to come a little early. So let's grab a drink, get comfy, and let's talk everything that went down in Week 16. Ladies, welcome. Happy holidays. How we doing?
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. It is almost time.
Almost time.
Everybody got your shopping done?
I am done. I am completely done with everything.
I'm done. I'm very much done. I just have to come up with this amazing mac and cheese dish for tomorrow's dinner. I've been using like one recipe, and like my neighbor of like 11 years has this amazing mac and cheese recipe, and my kids live by it, and they just honestly, it's a high standard, and I've not met it. So if anybody out there has any mac and cheese recipes that will just make me look stellar, I'm here for it. What's up, Terra Dome in the house? So happy. Yes, you'll get to help us with Rate the Fit today. Today we didn't put it out into the internet. We are going to do it live. So welcome. So all right. So Laura, let's jump into it. Let's talk about this. Well, first, let me start with the Thursday night game, because that started off all of Week 16. Thursday night game had huge implications for us 49er fans. We were cheering for Seattle to knock back the Rams a little bit, open things up, and holy cow, like I went to bed somewhere in the third quarter when Matt Stafford looked like he was getting hot and things were kind of rolling for the Rams. And I was like, you know what? It's my bedtime. I'm on the East Coast. I got to work tomorrow. It's my last day of work before the holiday. Let me go and be responsible. And then I woke up and it was like freaking Christmas morning. I mean, unbelievable. And Terra Dome's asking, is that a chocolate martini, Beth? We're going to get into that, I think, a little bit later. Yes?
We will.
So, yes, Thursday Night Football did not disappoint us Niner fans. We found out Friday morning that we were in the playoffs. So thank you to the Seattle Seahawks. That'll be the only time we will kind of, I won't say we rooted for you, but we kind of were like, okay, we want you to. We had to select. Right. So that was Thursday night.
I went to bed early every night game this week because I've just been burned out and just exhausted. And so every morning I wake up, my husband's like, you need to stop going to bed. He's like, you are missing the best endings to all these games. All of them were unexpected and stellar wins. So
this is like pre-season, like this is already playoffs. Like I feel like the end of the regular season always kind of the ante is there. Everybody's trying to get in, and it already is the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. That's my feeling. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just the wildest year. I mean, other years we've known exactly who was where, basically by now, with a few wild cards up for grabs. But this year is so crazy that literally last week the one seed was clinched, but now but it wasn't clinched, right? Like there's so much going on that it's pretty insane.
Yeah, and I guess to keep going down the road that you were talking about, Beth, these games are going into OT, and Saturday night you had the Packers playing the Chicago Bears, and oh my goodness, the rise of Caleb Williams is just been phenomenal. And this is your division, right, Laura?
It's my division. Yep. And you know, I absolutely refuse to root for the Packers, right? But they really needed to win that game for the Lions, but they did not win that game for the Lions. And it was like, I only watched like the first half of the game, and it was fairly boring. It was low scoring. It wasn't that like nothing was happening. And I'm like, nothing's happening. This game is stupid. I'm going to bed. And then come to find out, not only did the Bears win after all of that, they won in overtime with the first 2-point conversion. Like, first of all, why bother? Second of all, just it's insane. They had a 2-point conversion to win the game in overtime. And yeah, it definitely completely messed up the Lions' chance, but I can't argue that the Bears have really, one way or another, they're still a messy team in a lot of ways, but they've turned it around. I mean, they came for it this year.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing, they went from 5-12 to 11-4 in 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge testament to the coaching staff and to the players, right? You can call it messy, but Messi wins football games, and they're winning more than they're losing playing Messi.
Exactly.
Right? Like they're doing it all in the fourth quarter. I think they had 6 or so comebacks from behind over the course of the season. I mean, it's just kind of their version of football this season.
Right. Yeah. And we're going to get into the Bears a little more later with our cocktail, but you have to give props to, which I don't want to, but to Ben Johnson, who left the Lions to go to the Bears. Every Lions fan was angry about it, but he's done a pretty good job. And, I was a fan of his anyway from the Lions, but he's also from Asheville, North Carolina. He sent a lot of money to us after Helene. So I definitely like the man. I just wish he weren't coaching the Bears of all teams.
Yeah. No, the 2-point conversion was the Rams-Seahawks game. The end of the Bears game was a huge throw by Caleb Williams. It was 40-some, 50 yards.
I got them mixed up.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous throw by Caleb Williams in overtime, which is crazy. I mean, that's what I mean about the rise of Caleb Williams. He had some magnificent throws. It just looked great. And, Chicago, you should be proud. I mean, it's been a long time coming that you guys have had somebody with this type of caliber. You should have seen it coming. Any man that's comfortable enough to wear that, beautiful nail colors on his fingers going into the NFL, that's not someone who's going to be easily shakeable, right? He knows who he is. He's not afraid to show it, prove it. And he just needed some time. And to your point, Laura, Ben Johnson's been fantastic with him, patient, all the things. And now we're starting to see it all come together at the right time. So congratulations to the Bears. They had a huge, huge game. So let's talk about also, I think the other game, Beth, let's talk about your Bills. They played the Browns. And I think, am I right that Miles got a half a sack on Big Josh?
He did. Miles needed a full sack to break the record. He was only given half of a sack. Whoever their other player is, however, got to Josh 3 times. Josh is limping around a little bit today still. He did not practice. He had a little bit of a foot ankle injury during the game that gave all the Bills fans a scare for sure. But what I'd like to say is that Buffalo needs to play more than 2 quarters of football. We've been playing the second half, which has been super exciting to come back. This week, we decided to play the first half and then basically just manage the game from there on out. And, props to Shador. You can't give him that much time. He's going to be a great quarterback in the league at one point. He's still getting his feet wet, but the clock couldn't have run to 0 any faster for my liking. But we won 23-20. We're 11-4. We've got good things coming. Josh Allen didn't have a great game, but he didn't need to. We did enough. And like I said earlier, kind of with the Bears, ugly football is still winnable football. So sometimes good teams have to play ugly to get it done, but they know how to get it done even when it's ugly.
Listen, a dub is a dub.
I'm going to stand on that, especially in December, right? These are the ones that are super important, really making decisions as to where we are playoff wise. So,
yes. And Tara brings up a great point too, back to the Packers game. after recovered onside kick. We completely forgot to talk about that too. The Packers do not do well versus onside kicks for whatever reason. That comes down to special teams. And, they talk about 3 phases of football. You've got to have it on all 3 phases. And something like that can be the difference between a win and a loss. So thanks, Terra Dome, for that. Laura, let's get into your Lions game because that was another exciting game. Beth and I were like, oh, we were feeling for you. That was an interesting game.
By exciting you mean heartbreaking, right? I mean, we did not come out the gate great. The Steelers were doing it, right? And which is just painful to watch, but we kind of recovered. We got our mojo back a little. But then just at the end of the game was the most heartbreaking situation ever. And Beth said to me before the show, she's like, the Lions have been getting the weirdest calls. Like, they're obviously correct calls, but because they're in the rule book, they might not be, well, some of them are. But anyway, we are getting the weirdest call. Not all of them, because there was that, there was last week's catch that shouldn't have been a touchdown. But anyway, at the end of the game, we were close to winning. All we had to do was one score. We win the game in the last 2 minutes. And we did score. So ostensibly we won the game. Points were on the board. And then we got an offensive pass interference call. Okay, fine. Whatever. We still have a little bit of time to try this again. We try again. A play went not great, but there was a bit of a recovery, and it was also a touchdown. Points were on the board. We ostensibly won the game when we got another offensive pass interference against Amon-Ra St. Brown. The points were removed. The time had run out. The Steelers won the game. And a friend of mine was at the game and he was texting me. He's like, I don't know what's happened. Did we win? He's like, I don't, because when you're at a game, you don't hear the commentary. You don't know what's going on. The points were still on the board on the Jumbotron. And he's like, what did we win? I don't know. Did we win? I'm like, we did not. So it's very sad.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I mean, as a friend, I hated that for you. As a Niners fan, I have to say it helped us. So.
I get it.
But this is another. But I'm gonna lead you to another girlfriends in football scenario here. So you guys lost, which helped my team. My team won, which helped the Bills. So the Bills clinched because of the 49ers beating the Indianapolis Colts on Monday Night Football. Guys, that was I was tense. There was no chat happening in our group chat on the phone. So I just was like, I'm gonna leave them alone because honestly, I don't know if I really even want to talk to anybody right now. It was they went down and scored right out of the gate. And then Philip Rivers, listen, I have great respect for him. I loved him back when he played. I also thought he only had 7 kids. Lord have mercy. He's got 10 with a grandchild. I would be doing crazy stuff like going back in the NFL after 5 years too, if that was the scenario at home. But I have such a great respect for him. I loved him when he was a quarterback actively before. I thought he was just very, very laser, just his ability to process what was happening on the field, just a smart quarterback. And I knew that if you left him time in the pocket, he could dice you up. And I knew our defense is not super strong. So I was just like, he's just going to dice us up, and I'm just going to hope that he gets tired. It's Monday Night Football. I mean, I'm
it's past his bedtime.
It's past our bedtime. And so they went down the field, marched down, not a problem, scored. Brock Purdy and our offense gets on there. We march down the field, we score. They turn around, march down the field, and it was a little bit of this back and back. And then thankfully, there was a situation where there was a turnover and we got the ball back and we were able to then turn around and get an added score on top. So we kind of took over at that point, and honestly, they never really caught up to us. Brock Purdy threw for 295 yards, had a record high 5 touchdowns for his career. The last person to score that many in the regular season was a guy named Joe Montana, just some guy named Joe Montana. So, means a lot to our ball club right now that Brock is getting hot. It's clear that his turf toe is completely resolved. The downside was we did see George Kittle kind of hobble a bit off the field. He left, I think, towards the end of the third quarter. He was having a hell of a game. And so the reports are now saying that he's got a mid to low ankle sprain. We're going to talk about that here on Sports and Medicine here in just a bit. But basically, we wrapped up this game. CMC made his 1,000-yard rushing for the season. And I believe he's 163 or 64 yards from his receiving yards. So if he gets those, then he's going to be the first one in NFL history to have both 1K in rushing, 1K in receiving. So there it is. Brock Purdy. I got 5 on it. Yes, baby. Yes. And he did his little, my husband was trying to say it wasn't, but he did a little baby Dougie. It was just very slight. Like it might have just been one shoulder, but I knew it because I'm a dancer. And so he was like, it's not the Dougie. I'm like, shut up. It's the baby Dougie. Oh, and the first score, love the touchdown, Selly. It was double Dutch. The double Dutch.
You gotta love that.
So here for it. So great win. Like I said, that win pushed the Bills into playoffs. So let's take a peek at the playoffs and the way it looks right now. All right. So the division leaders in the AFC right now, we have the Broncos. If they win out, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC. Then you got the Patriots, Jaguars, and the Steelers. Then wild card, Chargers, the Bills, and the Texans. And then mathematically still alive somehow is the Colts, the Ravens, and everybody else is eliminated. Okay, so that's the AFC. The NFC, we've got the Seahawks, who are already, number 1 right now. Bears, Eagles, Panthers. Wild card is the Niners, the Rams, and the Packers. Laura, the Lions. Running out of time to turn their season around, and everybody else is pretty much mathematically eliminated except for the Bucks. They're out of contention for the wild card, but they can still win the NFC South, so there's a chance.
Right.
While we're talking about this, and we're talking about the Lions. Beth, I don't know if did you catch any of the Lions game?
I did not. It was on. I think it was a 4:00 game, right?
It was the 4:00 game.
Yeah. I'm in Atlanta, so we had to watch the Falcons, which was also a very good game, mind you, but I did not get to see the game I wanted to watch.
Yeah, the reason I want to bring it up, Laura, Greg and I both were commenting on Goff's throws. They don't look to be as tight of a spiral, and I kind of wonder if he's got something going on in his upper extremity. Is it shoulder? I mean, these guys are all banged up. It's the end of the season. They're limping through, that kind of thing. So I feel like he's wincing through something because it just doesn't look like the same ball. Do you feel the same?
I mean, I don't know. He's always kind of played a little loose. It's a tough one because he looks like a giraffe when he's playing. So he's never been the most, the tightest of quarterbacks. He's not mobile either. So it's a tough one to really evaluate for me, for someone who's not like, I don't know whether somebody has a shoulder injury or not, unless they tell me, ow. But I'm not sure that there's anything going on. I think it's just the toll of the whole season coming down on him. And a lot of it is on his shoulders, even though it really isn't his responsibility. There's so much else going on in that field that does not have anything to do with him. So yeah, it's a tough one. And if he is injured, I mean, it kind of doesn't matter this year because we have 1 game, but 2 games technically.
Well,
but
it might not be an injury that we talk about, like, fracture
Right.
dislocation
Like
and
out for
concussion.
surgery and all
Yeah.
that, but
Right. Just
something nagging irritation that just needs
Yeah.
a little bit more rest and rehab time off.
which he'll get over the off season, I imagine, unless a miracle happens. But one thing to keep in mind is that were he to get injured, we don't have anyone else. I mean, we have a backup quarterback, but it's not. Yeah, Kyle.
Are you
Kyle's
saying
something.
you'd be in an Indianapolis Colts scenario where
We'd be in trouble. I mean, we do have a backup. We'd be more in the with the JJ Watt situation, which of course we might benefit from, right? But JJ Watts is out with a hairline fracture.
TJ?
No, sorry. What's the quarterback on
Chargers?
on the Minneapolis. Why am I getting his name wrong?
JJ McCarthy?
McCarthy, that's the word I'm looking for. JJ McCarthy is out with a hairline fracture in his throwing hand, and they have an unsigned rookie as their backup. So, or an undrafted rookie as their backup. So, like, that'd be about where we are with it. So, I don't know. If he is injured, then.
Yeah. What's that, Beth?
I hear Cam Newton was real angry that he didn't get called up when they signed Philip Rivers first. So, I mean, I bet he'd be open to slinging the ball if he needed.
Oh, yeah. We would have things to talk about then for sure.
Sure would.
We'd need a whole extra segment for Rate the Fit if he came back.
For sure. For sure. All right. So let's get back real quick to that Steelers game we were just talking about, Steelers-Lions game. And there was an interesting situation that happened with DK Metcalf. And so we're going to get into that here in just a second on In the News. So DK Metcalf has found himself in some hot water again. He was at the game, went up to a fan that was, who knows, we're still waiting. There's all kinds of stuff coming out of he said this, he said that, a little bit of back and forth, but ultimately DK put his hands on the fan, pulled him up like by the shirt or whatever, and then kind of punched him up, like kind of released him, but not like a full punch.
Right. He took a swing.
It was a little swingish, but it wasn't like a full fledged. It was not necessary. How about
it was more than a football player up to.
Need to go over to the stands to start out with.
Right.
You could have avoided all of it by staying on the field.
Yeah.
You put hands on a fan, period. Yeah. And that's just what the policy says here. But the NFL's policy says players may not enter the stands or otherwise confront fans at any time on game day. And if a player makes unnecessary physical contact with the fan in any way that constitutes unsportsmanlike conduct or presents crowd control issues and or risk of injury, he will be held accountable. And it has come out that he will forfeit the next 2 games without pay.
Yeah, he has been held accountable.
Lose $555,000, $556 in salary. Additionally, in his contract, there is money that is attached to his behavior. And if he were to get suspended for any reason that does not turn around and get, if they go back and say, never mind, we will clear it out. He can lose, I think it's $25 million of guaranteed money this in 2026. And I think it's $20 million in 2027. And it's not, it's leaving it open to the Pittsburgh Steelers as to whether he would get that money. So it's not going to be guaranteed to him, but if he it's already come down that he's fined. If this stays like this, he could lose an additional $45 million in the contract.
That's stupid money. One.
It is stupid money. Yes.
2, your team's in running for the playoffs, right? If I was Aaron Rodgers coming back, like this could be my last season, or maybe it's not, or whatever the hell he wants to do, right? And one of your players that you need on that field does something like that, God, he'd be in so much trouble. I can't believe the Steelers players didn't beat him up after the game.
Right.
Because if you're going to sit out 2 games, you're going to be injured.
Yeah.
Well, and it was the situation was kind of crazy because like the refs didn't see it. It happened on the sidelines during a break. And it was a CBS crew that happened to get it on camera. And now there's 2 different angles on it. So you can kind of see what happened. Of course, you don't know what the real story is, right? So the guy with the blue wig, so it just gets weird. You remember earlier in the season, we had that Mark Sanchez story, and it just kept getting weirder and weirder. This story it's not quite to that level, but it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. So apparently last year when Metcalf was on the Seahawks, he had reported an incident with that same fan in Seattle. So the guy was in Seattle and was heckling him. So the guy's in Detroit heckling him again. According to the guy, all he did was say his full name. He said his government name, but he said his full name, and apparently Metcalf didn't like that. But DK Metcalf has a completely different story, that he made a your mama slur and he used a racial slur. But the only people that really know that are the people that were sitting right next to the guy, right? Because the only people who could hear it. So you have no idea what actually went down. However, on top of all this, the guy in the blue wig has lawyered up. He's ready. He's ready to take this all the way. So
he looked ready at the moment when he was almost cheering when he got pushed back by DK. So
exactly.
And that's the thing. You're a professional athlete. You have to learn where your boundaries are. You got to learn how to and I can't say that it's not hard or it's not easy, right? I'm just saying that there's so much at stake for you, for your team, for your family. I mean, that's $500,000 that you might come out of your pocket for what? For some clown in the stands?
Because he was being baited. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He was being baited.
You know that fan knew what he was doing. Yeah. So that fan was looking for that. He was looking for multiplication. He was looking for a reason to rile him up enough to create a scene.
And assuming he said what DK Metcalf said he said, right? Let's assume that he did. Sure, if you're a civilian, maybe punch that guy. But he might deserve it. He might be a complete a-hole and deserve to be punched. But in this situation where you're the professional and you're doing your job, you have to know how not to do that. Go through proper channels, whatever it means, but you can't just punch a fan, even if that fan is a complete a-hole.
Yeah, I wonder if there's just something else that could be done, even from a protection of the you've got security all the way around. If there's some unruly fan that's popping off, is there something that could be done? Could a player go to one of the security guards and say, "Hey, guy, man, we need to tell this fan to pump the brakes a bit. Let's check his alcohol intake." I don't know. I don't think it's fair for players to have to take that. So,
right.
Where's the bounds for that? But also to your point, he's a professional and ultimately it's going to cost you. It's not going to cost that guy anything.
Exactly.
Cost you everything. So unfortunate situation, unfortunate for DK. It's unfortunate for the Steelers. I mean, no one wins in this situation. And so that sucks. But what doesn't suck were the fits coming into week 16. And boy, did they not disappoint. Let's head into Rate the Fit. By the way, hats off to you, Beth, because you already get it started. You're my Thursday girl. Beth starts sending me fits on Thursday, which is so fantastic because I have to wait all the way until Monday before I start getting all the fits together to wait for all the games. And this is what this girl put in my inbox. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
So
Jalen
good.
Johnson was dressed for success. I mean, I saw the fur and I was like, okay, there's he wins. Like, how do you
And the bag and
the bling bag?
carrier bag, like that, man, everything.
What was your thought when you first saw this?
That's why I sent it to you immediately. It's perfection. He's like Frosty the Snowman meets Cartier, and just I can't even say it because I'm not that fancy.
Cartier.
Like the bag and like, God, it's just like, no, it's a marshmallow. He's a marshmallow. He's like Christmas marshmallow.
This is like full Christmas vibes. I wanted to wear this to my work Christmas party on Saturday. Like if I had that, I would have worn that to my work Christmas party.
For sure.
The fits kept coming. So we've got, I love Kendrick Bourne. Like his smile is just beautiful. But I would say gingerbread man vibes, right? Like a brown suit and that gingerbread color. He's got the shades on, the big, beautiful smile. We got, look at this, Justin Jefferson with the pink. It's like this icy pink. It's also giving winter vibes. He's got the jean.
His necklace. Did you zoom in on that? Did you see that? Girl, it's a jet.
What is it?
It's a jet.
Well,
it's a plane.
Like, because his nickname is,
Yeah. His jewelry is always on point. Such beautiful pieces he has.
That was my first choice until I'm about to see some of these rest of them.
Yep. So Christian McCaffrey's shown up looking like he was a London, spy or something. I don't know. It's just long, like gray trench coat, three-piece suit. Coat. I mean, and I wish I showed the video of him actually walking in it. I mean, it was just giving runway vibes. Then you got Keon White, leathered out, like leather, like just beautiful. Got the leather bag. I mean, he's just he's ready. And this is mine, my big silverback gorilla wearing all like just this tan look and the shades. I don't know. Trent Williams brought it and he repped for the big guys this week. Who else do we got? We got this one's your guy, Laura. I don't know. Isn't that your guy?
Is it? No, because I sent you David Montgomery.
He's a Lions dude, but
Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore is wearing the magenta again, another long trench coat.
That one too.
This had a Prince vibe for me. Full Prince.
Yeah.
So here's the one you wanted. Here we go.
Yeah.
Montgomery.
Yeah.
Also,
David Montgomery is
that a trench coat as well?
Yeah.
He's
been on fire this season. Every time he's got some sweet fit. It started with his Eagle Scout, wearing his Eagle Scout sash, and then he just kept bringing it every day.
Okay, so Tara Jones bringing out the songs per person. He's on it today. Flyest in the world. Quit. CMC like Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah.
Trent rarely misses. So true. Good golly, Miss Molly is Kenny Moore. Montgomery looks like the youth pastor. Ain't no lie. That is true. So
maybe choke on that.
Of all these fits, which one is your favorite? Beth,
who are you asking?
I'm sticking with my Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
So good.
Jalen Johnson for Beth. And then Laura, yours has got Montgomery.
Yeah, it was Jefferson for a good long while, but yeah, I really dig Montgomery.
So I'm going to go with Beth just so that we have a clear winner. And we'll go with Jalen Johnson. So there you go. We're going to see what Terradome comes up with, a song that matches this fit. But we had a lot of great outfits this week. Well done, NFL. So, when you're stepping out looking like that, there's only one thing you can have in your hand.
Yes!
It's our cocktail mocktail segment. Ladies, take it away.
It is holiday season, and it is time for a gingerbread martini. Catch me as fast as you can. Catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. This is vodka, cream de cacao, gingerbread syrup, half and half, and whipped cream. If you got a gingerbread cookie, add it on. It's so good. This is one of those that you're gonna really enjoy during the holiday season. It's great, a little creamy. It's very strong. I'm going to warn you, it is very strong. One will do what you need. So to manage all of those holiday parties and family gatherings. We picked this for the Bears because they really are catch me if you can this season. They are coming from behind. They are showing up when we never thought they'd show up, and they're showing out. So cheers to the Bears and to Caleb Williams for putting on a good show so far this season. If you don't want the alcohol and you just want a fun gingerbread martini, you can make it a mocktail as well. We use vanilla oat milk for this to make it creamy, ginger snap cookies crushed up in it to help give the ginger throughout, a little bit of maple syrup. Yeah, right. Cinnamon, ground ginger, cloves. Great idea. This called for stevia. I would just use more maple syrup personally. But that's just to your discretion. This would be a really fun one to make with the kids. So I think this one would be a good one to do again with the kids for the holidays as something fun. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, something different. When you're finishing up your gingerbread house, you can go ahead and crush up the gingerbread cookies and make yourself a gingerbread martini.
I finished mine. It's gone. I could not. I just kept.
We need to do the cocktail earlier in the show in the future. I'm like trying to sip to make sure it stays all the way to the end of the episode. I'm like,
I was doing that, and then I just kept drinking it. It's really good.
There's just so much happening.
That's why I now have water to be on the side too.
All right, I'm gonna bring back
Next
the
thing we're
picture.
gonna open with a cocktail.
Let's bring back. Oh no, why won't it move? Let's bring back the picture. I don't know why it won't let me. So Jalen Johnson, the white coat. The song is, oh, this is what he was saying. The flyest in the world, OT Genesis. And he stepped out of the Maybach Benz. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
There it is. Perfect. All right. So I know a segment that my Niners fans want to hear from is what is happening with George Kittle and his injury. So I cannot, Laura, maybe you can. Mine, for whatever reason, my screen is frozen. So it's not letting me bring up sports and medicine. So if you want to bring it up, go for it.
Let me do that. First of all, let me find it because you always do it. So let me find it here.
There it is. So our beloved George Kittle sustained what we're calling a mid to low ankle sprain. Went out in like the third quarter of the game for Monday Night Football. We hated to see it because he was just on a tear and was having a hell of a game. But I don't think we need to worry too much. They've ruled out a high ankle sprain. Beth, you want to walk us through what a mid to low ankle sprain is?
So a high ankle sprain is what it sounds like. You know, you're looking at something higher up on the ankle, which ends up being more irritating and more disruptive for a player. High ankle sprains tend to keep you out of the game longer. A mid to low ankle sprain is probably more of what most of us would feel when we roll our ankle or sprain our ankle, right? So if we step off a curb wrong or we do something like that, we roll our ankle, it gets sore, irritated, swells up a little bit. We're going to have a few days where it's uncomfortable, might not be able to put weight on it. But within a week or so, you're usually feeling pretty good. And depending on the grade of the injury, rehab is fairly quick, fairly straightforward. Range of motion, some quick strengthening, mobility. And he should be back playing by next week. I can't fathom he would require much more time than that to tolerate return to play.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance we see him back for Sunday Night Football.
Mhm.
But George, if you're watching, you do have a friend that has a hyperbaric chamber that might be able to help a brother out. So reach out to your boy, Fred Warner, and let's see if we can get you back in better shape. Also, I would like to point out that Brock Purdy was sick. Like, not like sick, man, he's sick. I mean, he was also that, but he was physically sick. Like during the game, I told my husband a couple times, I'm like, do you see how irritated his nostrils are? I bet he's sick. And at the end, I had heard that he had been battling a cold. I'm like, that's the only way his nostrils would be that red. So, Brock is going to feel even better by the time we get to Sunday Night Football. So lots to look forward to. The other thing I wanted to bring up was Stephon Diggs in the game against Baltimore had a moment. I mean, not after making a catch, he suffered a hard landing and was flagged for a concussion. And despite the medical staff's decision to keep him in the blue medical tent, Diggs was physically restrained to keep him in the tent, but eventually escaped to rejoin the game. Diggs' actions and post-game comments revealed his strong desire to contribute to the team, even if it meant fighting against the medical staff's decision. I believe there was he got fined for this.
I'm sure.
Right. Yeah. There's a
also, how do you rejoin a game when they tell you can't rejoin a game? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Who is making these rules and who's enforcing them?
Right.
I mean,
why did they let him on the field?
The coach better get fined too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I'm looking to see because I actually was watching. Obviously, you guys know that my husband's a Ravens fan. I was watching the game, but I was so tired. I was falling asleep off and on in between my husband yelling
Lamar
at me.
got hurt and watching Lamar limp off and his back, and God, that poor man.
Yeah,
it's been a bad season on him.
So that was a lot of talk today, is that he's up on his contract may need to be, looked at again, because I think there's no more guaranteed money, that he's slated to get like $70 million next year. And, the Ravens are probably going to want to restructure that. So that, are they going to re-sign him versus, I guess there's talks about Baltimore firing Harbaugh, which I don't ever see that happening,
right.
Or setting Lamar free. I mean, I can't really fathom either one of those, but
here Tua is looking for a job, so maybe.
Right.
There you go. Okay, so let's carry on to talking about the upcoming Week 17 games. Lots of things to still determine for the sake of the playoffs. Did I already mention the Niners have a path to become the #1 overall seed? We are in control of our destiny. If we win the next 2 games, we are officially the #1 seed for the NFC. So y'all know a lot of my picks are going to be based on my pettiness associated with that. So, so Laura, take it away.
All right. Well, we're coming at you day after tomorrow with 3 Christmas Day games. We start out on Netflix with the Cowboys and Commanders. We're split on this one. Desi, you picked the Commanders, and Beth and I picked the Cowboys.
Can I just say real quick, I sent my picks, and I was like, damn, my picks are rough this week. And I'm not that far off from all y'all.
That's true. That's true. And as we've mentioned before, we don't look at each other's picks before we pick. So,
well, and it's still very tough because we're picking these. I think I picked these even before my Niners played last night, right?
Right. So exactly.
You still don't really know. There's injury statuses you're not clear on. There's all kinds of things that you just don't have the data on. So we can't really get roasted by our picks anyway. That's
true.
Right.
And Beth, your actual text to me was making some crazy choices this week. All right,
but really not that crazy.
Well, yeah, exactly. So the second game on Netflix, the afternoon game, is Lions Vikings. Obviously, we'll all be watching that one. Maybe, I don't know what you're doing. It's Christmas Day. But we all picked the Lions. I mean, all of us have picked the Lions almost all year. I think there may have been one game when one of us picked the other team. So I appreciate the confidence, and I'll roll with it. And then the Thursday night game, the Christmas Thursday night game, which will be on Prime, is Broncos Chiefs, and we all picked the Broncos.
And can I tell you, no, never mind. We're good.
But I do want to make a mention, guys, put it in your phone. Don't forget to set your fantasy league like tomorrow. You got to set it tomorrow, because your girl, even though I do this on a Friday or on a Wednesday, I completely lost my mind, forgot. I don't really have many players from the Seahawks or the Rams, shocking. But I was like, so I wasn't worried about Thursday night's game, but I forgot they were Saturday games. And so thankfully I still won my game because it worked out. But yeah, I just want all you fantasy players out there, set your rosters tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. All right, and then we move on to Saturday game. We've got two of those. We've got the Texans at Chargers. Beth, you pick the Chargers while Desi and I pick the Texans.
I don't like the Texans.
Oh,
I
mean, fair.
I don't think I had any more reasoning past that.
That's okay.
I think because of D'Amico, so
fair. All right. Yeah, I mean, I think the Texans have been playing pretty well this year, so I just went with them. And then we have the Ravens Packers. Obviously, I cannot root for the Packers. So I picked the Ravens. So did Desi, which I assume that might be loyalty. But Beth, you picked the Packers.
I have no loyalty to the Ravens at all.
You have loyalty to a Ravens fan.
I just feel like the Packers are so banged up right now. I don't have faith in either one of these teams, especially if Lamar is not going to be playing. And this is another thing, right? I would love to know if Lamar is going to play in this game so I could, pick the appropriate actual pick. But I'm going to say that I think Lamar is going to play. And so that gives, I think, the edge to the Ravens.
All right.
As long as King Henry doesn't keep getting balls dropped or punched out.
I was going to say, unfortunately, Lamar just isn't playing well, and King Henry is in his head. And so I have a hard time. Sorry, Greg. I love the Ravens. I love you, but they're just not gelling right now.
Yeah. Fair. All right. You know what? I think I added I don't think I put my right pick on the next one.
I don't believe I picked.
I didn't put any of our right picks on the next one.
I was just getting ready to say, because I know I did not pick the Seahawks.
Yeah, absolutely. So swap those around. All three of us actually picked the Panthers, and I'll have to make a note of that for when I review the picks to make our standings. But we all picked the Panthers, not the Seahawks. This is opposite day. We did not pick the Seahawks. We picked the Panthers. And I think it's because we're all like, how do you not root for an underdog team like the Panthers? Plus,
how are they in first place?
Right.
Continue.
No, I'm just anti-Seahawks right now.
Sure. But the Panthers have been like, it's been a Cinderella story. Like, it's crazy what they've done this season. So yeah, good on them. All right, Cardinals, Bengals. I picked the Cardinals. You all picked the Bengals.
Joe Burrow showed up last week with a vengeance. So I had a hard time going against whatever he showed up with. And the Cardinals haven't been anything much to be impressed with. If Joe Burrow hadn't shown up like he did this past week, I don't think I would have picked them, but he was proven a point this week.
I think he got over his funk a little bit, but yeah, I guess we'll see. All right, then we have I do have cross-reference now that I made mistakes already, so I want to make sure it's correct. We all picked the Steelers over the Browns.
Or as she put, Steelers.
Steelers. I don't always proofread these. Obviously.
I hated making that choice.
Same.
I know.
That should have been my petty choice this week and gone with the Browns.
That's fair. We've all picked the Jags over the Colts. It's interesting where the Jags are this year too. So, yeah.
I will, going back to the Steelers-Browns game, I will say this will be the game that Miles breaks his sack record.
All right.
Yes, I agree.
I think that's fair. All right. Jags, Colts. All of us picked the Jags. We're just riding that wave.
By the way, did you see that Anthony Richardson is still wearing sunglasses? I've got to believe that's still related to his orbital fracture.
Oh, yeah.
Carry on. Sorry.
All right. Bucks, Dolphins, little Florida showdown here. We all picked the Bucks. And then Pat's. Oh, yeah, exactly. And then Pat's Jets. Desi, you went with the Patriots. We picked the Jets. I think Beth and I, neither of us like to root for the Patriots. So,
I mean, I don't like to root for them, but it's hard to not. I mean, this Drake May is doing some incredible things, and the Jets are the Jets, bro. So,
right. But here's the thing: if the Jets beat the Patriots, the Bills still have a chance at
the division.
So, I gotta roll all my dice in that direction.
Okay,
that's fair.
All right. Listen, I'll be okay, but I'll take an L on that one if I need to.
And I realize the point of picks is who do we think will win, but often my pick is who would I rather win?
Well, and this is like air quote playoff time right now. So, I mean, anybody could win. This is like when you're just like, people just show up that never showed up the whole year for no good reason, right? People that are out of the playoffs that are just trying to knock somebody else out of the playoff. Like it's pretty cutthroat right now. So anything.
And speaking of which, the Saints, who have had a few random victories here and there against the Titans. Destiny and I picked the Saints, and Beth, you picked the Titans.
It's at home. Also, I live in Atlanta, so I feel some kind of way about the Saints. So, Titans. There's my upset. How about that? That'll be my upset of the week.
All right. All of us picked the Giants over the Raiders. That's a crazy game, too, because, whatever.
It's going to be a crazy, terrible game is what it's going to be.
Yes. And then Eagles, Bills. We all picked the Bills. No big surprise there.
Fingers crossed. And I think I'll be honest here again. I think it will depend on the Patriots-Jets outcome. I think if the Patriots lose, the Bills are going to go balls to the wall. If the Patriots win, we're more concerned about being healthy for the playoffs. So you may see, we'll still play hard, but I think you may see a little bit more caution to keep people healthy and injury-free for playoffs. So I think a lot of it will come down to that 1:00 game as to what our 4:00 game looks like.
Yeah. All right. And Bears 49ers, no big surprise. We all went with the 49ers. I really need the Bears to lose. So let's do it. Even though the 49ers winning is, actually, I don't know whether it matters for us anymore.
Bebop Jones, yes. Bebop just said Bills versus Niners Super Bowl would be dope. I have been wanting this ever since, what is his name for ESPN? Chris. This was the Super Bowl he always wanted, and I keep calling it his Super Bowl if it happens because he kept wanting the Bills Niners back in the late 80s, early 90s. Yes. Sorry, I got very distracted by that.
No, that's
started. Chris, what is his name? Berman. Yes, Berman. Chris Berman. Chris Berman Super Bowl. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Carry on. Sorry.
All right, Monday night, we have the Rams Falcons. I went with the Rams, and you all went with the Falcons.
Falcons on Monday night.
Listen, it's going to be in Atlanta. We're going to be swag surfing. I'm going to be the biggest Falcons fan right now.
Girl, I'm throwing it out there. If anybody's got an extra ticket, I am in Atlanta and we'll be in town. And
Hook us with 2 tickets because I'll go with her just to crowd surf and be in the Mercedes Benz for sure. So the other thing, I don't know if we haven't talked about this, ladies, is I know I said the Niners have a way to become the number 1 overall in the NFC, but they have the potential for their next 5. Like they just played in Indianapolis. Their next 2 games are home. If they clinch the number 1, they will play throughout the playoffs at home. And guess what? The Super Bowl would be at home. So there's a potential where they could have the next 5 games all at home.
That would be incredible for them, for sure. Yes. For sure. All right. That is all of the picks. We'll see how we do. But before you close out the show, Desi, I've got a little gift for you all. Little something that we talked about last week, but I went ahead and did that for us to hold on to. I will put it on our socials, but let's have a little Christmas card here. Based on the Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld baby announcement. Replace the snowman with baby Josh.
That is epic. That's our Christmas card. That is our holiday card to all of you.
Yep. I will post it. Maybe it'll be our Christmas Day post. Maybe
tournament.
Yes. And listen, for all of you that are listening right now, we do have a game that we're going to be playing in the postseason that's going to be interactive and prizes are involved. So make sure you keep track of our podcast and our socials so that you can make sure you're part of that. We're going to have some really awesome prizes to give away, and it's going to be really, really fun. So make sure you keep joining back with us on Wednesday nights, usually. Next week, we're going to be Tuesday, again at 8 p.m. Because of the holidays, we're having to push to Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays. And so that'll be previewing week 18. We'll talk about the game that we're going to play with you guys at that podcast. It's going to be a shortened podcast, short and sweet. So make sure you don't miss it. And I think that would be all for this week. And so that's our week 17 preview. Right in the heart of the holiday season where the games matter more, the margins are thinner, and the stress somehow hits harder. Thank you so much for listening to Girlfriends in Football and making us part of your December routines, whether that's travel days, last-minute shopping, or hiding from your relatives to watch football. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're subscribed, leave us a review, and share it with your football-loving friends. We'll be back with Week 18, playoff implications everywhere, and very little room for mistakes. Until then, enjoy the holidays, stay warm, and may your team give you at least 1 win to celebrate. That is it. Happy holidays and happy football.
Merry Christmas. Go Bills.
Happy holidays.